Welcome back to our PD channel. Myself, Arpi Dubey. Namaskar to all viewers. Friends, in this video, I would like to apprise you all of the latest developments on the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine and also of the ultimate possible outcome of the war. Friends, first of all, I would like to refer to the discussions and decisions taken in respect of the ongoing war between the two in the G7 bloc meeting held recently in Canada. Recently, first, EU European Union wanted to lower the price cap on Russian oil, which would be able to sink Putin's war chest. Second, Mr. Trump bemoaned the absence of Russia in the meeting. He said it was the grave mistake of the then G8 bloc to expel Russia due to its annexation of Crimea in the year 2014. Third, Canada will provide an additional 2 billion Canadian dollar help in the form of new military support to Ukraine. Fourth, European Union proposed ban on Russian gas and liquefied natural gas imports by end of 2027. Fifth, the UK imposed sanctions on some companies in its own country for supplying Russia with high-tech electronics which are crucial to the Putin's war effort. Sixth and last, European Union proposed to squeeze Russia's energy revenues and reduce the funds they are to pour into their illegal war. Hence, Mr. Trump indirectly expressed his non-willingness over all those decisions and proposals put forth against Russia by the European Union. Frankly speaking, he was annoyed and so left the meeting midway, making pretext of some urgent serious matter to be discussed at the White House. Also, he didn't like to honor Mr. Zelinsky as a special guest in the meeting by the European Union. Friends, to help Russia, the Trump administration had recently described a group set up to formulate strategies for pressuring Russia into speeding up peace talks with Ukraine. Mr. Trump doesn't want to adopt a more confrontational attitude for White House policy towards Moscow. Friends, in view of all these activities of Mr. Trump, his hypocrisy in finding the solution to the war between the two has been exposed. From the very beginning of his assuming office in January this year, he has not been honest for getting the war ended. He seems to be unduly favoring Mr. Putin, pressuring Mr. Zelensky to compromise with Ukraine sovereignty. Friends, no head of state, if he really loves his state and is a true patriot, can compromise with the honor of his motherland. Come what may. Needless to mention that Mr. Zelensky has such qualities in him. Friends, it is after long telephonic conversations between Mr. Trump and Putin recently that Russia's attacks on Ukraine have intensified a lot, and now the whole of Ukraine is witnessing a rain of missiles and drone attacks. In addition to massive attacks on military and energy infrastructures, civilian infrastructures are also being struck with civilian casualties. Ukraine has not been able to retaliate due to acute shortage of arms and ammunition with it because the USA has halted the delivery, more particularly the delivery of those arms and ammunitions which can strike deeper into Russia's territory. Presently, Mr. Zelensky is only relying on the European Union's delivery, which is not sufficient at all in view of Russia's more than enough stockpiles of advanced weaponry of various types. Russia's overnight drone and missile attacks on the capital, Kiev, for the past some days have been reported to be killing many civilians and making the people's life very pathetic. Friends, negotiations for a ceasefire have been made difficult by incompatible positions on both sides. However, after several rounds of negotiations and the last meeting held at Istanbul, Turkey, agreement on war prisoner swap was reached and it was reciprocated from both sides. It is a good step. As regards the intensity of war between them, there was no let-up and instead it was observed intensifying. Friends, it seems that there is some understanding between Mr. Putin and Trump, and they know the ultimate fate of this war. Mr. Putin has started consolidating the already occupied territories with advancing towards the other new areas of Ukraine also. The strategy is that if both Mr. Putin and Zelensky sit on the negotiation table for a ceasefire, Mr. Putin will be in a position of bargaining and for ceasefire on his terms. Friends, some think tanks have opined that Russia has now an intent of occupying the whole Ukraine, keeping its armed forces trying to advance swiftly towards Kiev in view. But in my opinion, Russia is not going to do this. The reason is that it will erode its image worldwide as an aggressor and also having a dream of reviving the former USSR. This type of Russia's image will antagonize its neighboring countries and also others with whom they have good relations. So Russia will never wish so. Friends, the people of both the countries, more particularly that of Ukraine, have become fed up with the war running for over 3 years. In case of no ceasefire or end of the war, the uprising in Ukraine may not be ruled out, forcing Mr. Zelensky to step down himself and paving the way for another incumbent in its place. Tacit understanding over the regime change in Ukraine between Mr. Trump and Putin as a measure to tackle the situation may also be not ruled out. Friends, next week talk is possible between Russia and Ukraine, for which their spokespersons are reported to be in contact. Mr. Zelinsky has also expressed his willingness to meet Mr. Putin for talks. So, I think we could expect some thaw in the current stalemate. Friends, let's see what will be the outcome of the next meeting. Friends, if you have liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the same to keep me motivated to serve you better. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.